grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of our God is in this place.
Good morning on this soggy Sunday. It's going to get a little bit soggier from what I understand. So some housekeeping announcements. The church will be closed this week, and that includes any activities that will be scheduled at church this week. If that changes, an announcement will be made via the newsletter. If anybody's concerned, our hurricane team is going to be putting up the hurricane shutters on the windows potentially today, so the church will be taken care of. And we ask everyone have positive and say lots of prayers that Milton decides just to kind of go
Amen.
and dissipate. So we would like to welcome our guests today. Whether you are attending in person or with us online, you are welcome here. If you are here for the first time and if you feel comfortable, please raise your hand because we'd like to give you a blessing. Is there anybody here for the first time? No? Well, then let's give each other a blessing.
Yes.
We
love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold Christ as you.
So we don't need to talk about a welcome packet. And we don't need to talk about, you don't need to put money in the basket. Because all of you are here, so you do need to put money in the basket. Or be a tithely. And you already know about hopping on over to the community room for coffee and snacks after service. Thank you. Right now we are going to, right now Donna.
Sing.
I'm going to sing Freeze Frame. You know, I'm always anxious to get out of my chair.
That was so good.
All right, please stand because, you know, we have God in the
Phew.
show.
Yes, please. Joy, 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 down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 down in my heart. Down in my heart today. I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the Spirit in my heart, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the Spirit in my heart. I've got the Spirit down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the Spirit down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I'm so happy, so very happy. We've got the Spirit in our heart, and we're so happy, so very happy. We've got the Spirit in our heart.
Now we have announcements. So the first person that's going to come up is Kathy Curry, and she's going to talk about spirit group signups.
All right, good morning, everybody. Ooh, I think
Morning.
we're a small group. Let's hope they're online. So, okay, you know, I'm Kathy Curry, and Jeannie is somewhere. There's Jeannie. There's our other certified program leader for our spirit group. So I just want you to know both of us. So I just want to tell you a little bit about spirit groups in case you don't know. They've proven themselves to be a powerful way to connect and engage people in a deep and lasting spiritual growth and development. So we want you to come and join in that spiritual development. These are 10-week study groups, and we take about 8 weeks to go through the study of whatever we're studying, whether it's a book or a film or something. And then we do a social gathering just to celebrate the time we've had together to get to know one another. And then we do a service project in the community that let others know who we are and what we do in the community. So we hope you'll come and partake in these, because we laugh and celebrate and we enjoy, we ask deep questions. So I want to introduce to you the 2 books that we're having and the leaders. So we got 4 leaders that have taken on this. So if you, the leaders, as I call you, if you just stand up. Is Linda Millman in the room? No, Linda? Okay, Linda is leading one of the groups on the 4 agreements. She meets on Thursday at 1 o'clock, if that works for you. The second group is hosted by Mel Meldrin and his lovely, I think, wife, Yvonne? Yeah? Okay. They're going to be meeting at Wednesday at 7 p.m. The next book is Finding Yourself in Transition, and the first group is hosted by our Claire Rain on Wednesday at 3:30. Second group is hosted by Sue Schroeder, and she is meeting Saturday at 10 a.m. So hopefully there's enough time, space that will fit your schedule. We want you to join us and be a part of our mission, which is transforming lives, inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. And I was asked to let you know that the study part of this is done before Thanksgiving, so not to worry. Thank you.
We're trying something a little bit different. We're not going to put up slides about the announcements because now you have to really listen. And if you have other questions, most of the information can be found on posters or sign-up sheets in the narthex. So we'll see how this goes. The October Healing event is currently available for registration in the narthex for the Tesla Biohealing presentation. That presentation is Wednesday, October 23rd from 1 to 3 p.m. Our craft fair is coming up on November 3rd. And right now there are openings for sign-ups for any crafters. Please register yourself as a participant if you care to show or sell your crafts or your talent. We're moving forward with our Unity Got Talent show. We haven't had one in a while. So save the date, Friday, November 15th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Sign up is in the narthex, and you must enter and sign up as a talent participant. Only 15 slots are available, and the last time I looked, I think there were 5 or 6 people already signed up, so chop chop. Tickets will be sold soon, and you can watch the information in the narthex for more information. There will be one rehearsal, a group rehearsal, on Sunday, November 10th at 11:30 until about 2 p.m. And if you have any questions, see Donna, because she's our glorious leader on the talent show.
Yay!
We have 3 additional dates in November to save the date, which is Sunday, November 10th, which is a sacred service volunteer recruitment. Wednesday, November 20th, will be another healing event. That was the air conditioning system, so don't panic. Will be a healing event on advanced stem cell medicine. And Thursday, November 28th, is our second Unity Thanksgiving potluck dinner. Stephanie is in charge of this, so Stephanie, if you'll stand, if you have any questions.
Woohoo!
Please see her, and she is, as always, looking for volunteers. And our last announcement is the Psychic Fair in 2025 is still looking for readers and vendors. You can call or email Marby Morgan. Marby, if you'll stand so people know who you are. And her contact and some flyers are in the narthex as well. Thank you.
Aunt Stella, your prayer chaplain for today. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the powers of affirmative prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions, God bless you, and respects the right of each individual to choose their spiritual path. So wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. Unity believes that we all have certain powers within us, and every month we celebrate a different power. This month, the power is zeal. The disciple is Simon, and I like to do a little background work so you know a little bit more about these disciples that are chosen to represent these different powers. Simon was bitten by a snake on the hand, and he was healed by Jesus. Jesus told him, "You shall be my disciple." He became part of the evangelization committee, and he was very zealous in spreading the teachings of Jesus. He has a patronage of tanners, those people that work with skins, and also people that use saws. And the reason that he is a patronage for that is because legend has it that he was sawed in half, and that's how he died. Ooh.
On that note,
Yeah, okay. Let's bring on some more joy. Okay. The area is the back of the head, and the color is orange. The power is to be enthusiastic, passionate, to be ready to start something new, and motivation. The affirmation is, fueled by the power of zeal, I enthusiastically do what is mine to do. Let's all say that together. Enthusiastically.
fueled by the power of zeal, I enthusiastically do what is mine to do.
I so love this group all the time. So divine order is a wonderful thing, but you have to be enthusiastic about jumping in and taking your part in it. So just want to remind you of that. This is a publication by Unity. It's called The Daily Word, and every day there's a different word that there is commentary on. It's very short, easy to read, and there's large print available if you get it from the publisher. If you'd like to have a copy just to kind of look it over, you can visit Barbara in the bookstore because she does have additional ones. Okay. If you prefer, you can use the app. That way you can carry it in your pocket on your phone. The name of the app is B-E, Unity. Can we repeat that? B, Unity, because that's going to show up the next time I'm here. Okay. So today's daily word is joy. Please repeat the affirmation on the screen with me. I
Rejoice in life's simple pleasures.
I rejoice in life's simple pleasures. Life's biggest moments, weddings, births, graduations, celebrations of all kinds, are causes for joy. But joy is also found in life's simpler moments from the day-to-day happenings that comprise daily life. Joy is in the sunrise, in my morning prayer, in familiar faces that I love and look forward to seeing, and also in the satisfaction I get from my work. It is in my favorite things and in the sweet surprises that come from trying something new and different. Joy is in the comfort I find my favorite spiritual practices and in finding God anew as I deepen in spiritual insight. However it manifests, joy is part of me, a way to feel the peace and the power of God in my heart and deep in my soul. And the scripture reading for today is, they ate and they drank before the Lord on that day with great joy. And that's from Chronicles. Let's repeat that affirmation again. I rejoice in life's simple pleasures. In this reading, there was something in here that kind of struck me. I find joy in finding God anew as I deepen my spiritual insight. And I had a spiritual insight that I'd like to share with you. Like all spiritual insights that I usually have, it's kind of bizarre. I was doing my nails this week, and I realized that I had a split, I just want to use the right finger, in this finger, in my fingernail. And I suddenly realized that years ago, my mom used to complain because she would always get the split in this particular finger. And I said, wow, that's DNA, that's within me, that's how I got this. And the other thing is, in our family, we have something called circus toes. And when a baby is born, the first thing we do is we count to make sure they have 10 fingers and 10 toes. And when that's checked and we know that that's okay, then we look for circus toes, which are webbed toes. So if you have webbed toes, they're webbed. I mean, they're connected. And also, that's in DNA. And it made me think, if we follow the principles, and God is everywhere and in everything, and the second principle is that God is within each one of us. God's got to be in DNA. How much closer to us can God be than that? God's in DNA. I just wanted to share that with you. That was my spiritual insight for today. Oh, dear. Okay, let's talk about our prayer box. Okay. The Spirit of God is always with us in times of prayer and meditation. This connection with God and our divine potential increases. In God we live and move and we have our being. We need to embrace this truth. In Psalms it is written, "Be still, and know that I am God." Unity was founded on the power of affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer empowers us to respond to life circumstances by drawing upon the truth of oneness, God within all of us. We recognize, claim, and embody the fullness of our divinity in the midst of our own human experiences. The prayer box is in the back of the room. And if you have a special intention, we invite you to write that on one of the prayer slips, put it in the box. After the service today, all those prayers will be collected. I will share them with our prayer chaplains, those of us that are in Purple Stoves. And then I will send them by email to Silent Unity, where they will be prayed on for an additional 30 days. So that's powerful prayer right there. If you would like to pray with any of us individually after the service, prayer chaplains will be up front and will confidentially pray with you in a second way. Enjoy this beautiful, joyful day.
Have any visitors? Do you want me just to introduce myself?
I'm going to do something.
Thank you. I asked her for this. of God, the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God, the face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios. Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Normally, we would intro our guest speaker, but since we don't have any new people today, I don't think Carla needs an intro. So let's welcome her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh. Thank you. Get out my little stool here. Well, we're coming to our time of meditation. And I want to let you know that we are going to first hold a short meditation because during the message today, you can't hear me? During the message today, is that better? What's going on? She's turning it on. Let me make sure Glad I didn't fall off the stool. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the work that you do. Okay. We approach this time of meditation. I want to let you know that this is going to be a shortened version of meditation, a centering meditation, because during today's message, we're actually going to do an experiential meditation. And so now, whatever that you normally do to relax, to soften your shoulders, and take a deep breath in and out. And just whatever you brought here with you today, any to-dos, any concern about the weather later this week, let's leave that for later. Because right now we are fine, we are here and safe, and we are loved. And as we transition from human doings to human beings, we take this pause to center ourselves, to open our minds and hearts to all that is, creating a sacred space so that we can tap into divine mind, a state of pure being. No striving, no trying, just blissful peace. Peace, sweet peace. For here we are in receptive mode, where we may hear our still small voice. And now we take a healing pause in the silence. Giving thanks for this precious, sacred moment in our day, let's remember that we can return to this sanctuary of peace as often as we like. And so it is. Some of you may have noticed. Some of you may have noticed. Some of you may have noticed that I'm all about spiritual tools, practical stuff that can help me in this human experience that we're having. And you're going to get to try another one out today. But we need a little background first. And the background is that during meditation, I was guided to share this with you. And this is an act of full faith on my part, because I said, what? That's a little bit different. So we're going to see how this works, and we're going to trust that Spirit knows. Spirit knows. So, put up slide 1, please. We're going to talk about understanding the 3 faces of God today. 3 faces of God. And while we get into this, I'd like for you to ask yourself, truly, really ask yourself, how is God alive for me? What does God mean to me? And how do I experience God? Throughout this talk, I'm going to use the word God. In my personal spiritual life, I mostly call God divine love or divine creator. So I'm going to invite you, every time I say the word God, you make it whatever your word is, whatever you call that amazing, wonderful energy that is in us, through us, and all around us. Please feel free to make this talk yours. When I was young, I was raised in a pretty restrictive church. And I could relate to my brother Jesus because they taught that Jesus was my brother, and I could do that. But God scared me to death because he was some big, really big judge up in the sky that kept score of everything I could possibly have done wrong. So I didn't feel that closeness with God because that fear was there. And when I was older, as we all do, we unearth what our own truth is. And everybody's truth is different. It's relative to where we are on our spiritual journey. My truth is that God is the awesome creator of all that is. God is the beloved friend, as close as my next breath, the helper right beside me, and the God that lives through me. I am God's hands and feet while I'm here on earth. But let's don't take my word for it, that there are 3 faces of God or that we can experience that. There are going to be quite a few references to Bible verses today. And so this is how Jesus, next slide please, Jesus related to God. He talked to God, he talked about God, and he talked as God. And some examples of him talking to God was just before he raised Lazarus from the dead. Jesus looked upward and said, "Father, I thank you for having heard me. I knew that you would always hear me, but I have said this for the sake of the crowd standing here, so that they may believe you sent me." And then in the last act of the Last Supper, John 17, the whole chapter has quotes. It's Jesus speaking. And a few of those excerpts are, "Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son so that the Son may glorify you. And I made your name known to them so that the love with which you have loved me may be in them and I in them." And then, of course, Jesus' 3 prayers on the cross. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?" And Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit. And there are plenty of times in the Bible that you can find reference to Jesus talking about God. When he was talking to his disciples during the Last Supper in John 15, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. In teaching his disciples not to worry, in Matthew 6, he said, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about what you will wear. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. And examples of Jesus speaking as God. In John 8, all of these are from John. John wrote about the more cosmic Christ, unlike the other Gospels. In John 8, he says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. In John 6, Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. In John 14, I am the way, the truth, and the light. And in John 8, Jesus said, truly, truly, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. The Jews who were listening clearly understood Jesus to be calling himself God at that point, because they took up stones to stone him for committing blasphemy in comparing and equating himself with God. Well, we too can experience God in different ways. Next slide, please. As the infinite face of God beyond us. This is a beautiful picture from the Hubble telescope. And I don't know about you, but those pictures fascinate me. And when I want to tap into divine mind, I think of my head being an observatory, and this big thing slides back to reveal those open skies. So anytime that your sense of awe is engaged, whether it's looking at the night sky or a majestic mountain range or a single magnificent tree, which we have so many of down here in Florida. And the next slide, please. As the intimate face of God beside us, that being that feels as close as your breath. I have a friend that invites God to ride along with her in her heart space that day, to be with her, to enlighten her, and to be joyful with her. It's the sense that you are not alone. When you know in your knower that you're not alone. It's also in the form of other people. Have you ever been talking to someone and the words that come out of their mouth are such a balm for your heart? Or whatever you're going through. It can also be in animals. How many of you love your pets? And when you gaze in their eyes, you see the universe. It can be nature itself. And then the next slide, please. As the inner face of God as us. It's that feeling of oneness when we're sharing with another. When you act on an intuition or feeling, as you're serving, as you're volunteering here, in all the many ways that we have service available, when you don't live from your ego self, but you're living from your truest self. And have you ever said something to another person and you thought, gosh, I don't know where that came from? And it was exactly what they needed to hear. That's you being God. That's you being God, hands, heart, and voice while you're here. In an earlier talk, I talked about divine order. which is mind, idea, and expression. And to explain that small review again, by first tapping into God mind, into the field of all possibility, and then receiving guidance or intuition, and then bringing it out into physical expression or manifestation. You can relate that to today's talk. Think about what we know is flow from God's mind to our human form in the thought of an idea, and then bringing that into fruition in the outer world. Every single part of that process is contained within the truth of oneness. This is not a conflict with our beliefs. This is congruent as part of our belief. The thing you're going to hear about today that's different for most of you is whole body mystical awakening meditation. Isn't that a big mouthful? What it is, it's an integrated practice. And that's what it is, just like our meditation is a practice. And it's personal, it's communal, and it's cosmic all at once. Because it integrates the three faces of God. We're going to awaken 4 body centers, which will be our head, our hearts, our spiritual womb, our gut, and our feet. You all know it's one thing to talk about something, and it's another thing to experience it. So now we're going to practice it. This practice, by the way, so you know, was begun and developed by Integral Christian Ministry. You can Google that, you can go to their website, and you can find various meditations on there to listen to, and they are really, really good. One of the things that might help you with this is to know that I'm going to say a few words, then I'm going to pause for a minute to allow you time to soak in those words, to process this experience, and to be in the quiet. It reminds me of our wonderful Wednesday meditation services here that our own Jeffrey Paul Whitman facilitates. So now I'm going to ask you to get back in your comfortable space, however that works for you. Just relax. Settle into your seat, breathing easy. You can close your eyes or whatever you usually do. And you can also feel free to open your eyes to make a visual connection with all those around you, because we're creating this sacred space together as a community. Be mindful of your breathing. And as you breathe out, let go of all expectations, all deadlines. Just release all of that and let go. We begin by focusing on our heart space. You can help do that by placing your hands on your heart, which can increase the energy there. You can think of somebody that you love so much to help activate the love flowing from your heart. Feel that warmth flowing from your heart and spreading throughout your whole being. The feeling of God beside us reveals itself in our awakened heart center. The love you feel in your heart space is not only your love, but also God's love. Now move your attention to your feet. Make sure your feet are planted on the floor. You may want to wiggle your toes to help move your focus there. And think of roots growing from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you to the earth and to nature itself. Feel this energy from the grounding and centering of these spiritual roots that connect you with the oneness of all divine material reality. Christ is the Christian symbol for all of reality, divine, human, and material. That reality was manifested in and as Jesus and includes all creatures, great and small. Draw that grounding, sacred earth energy up into your gut, your spiritual womb. We all have a spiritual womb, whether we have a physical one or not. It's the home of your core self, your divine identity, which is the interface of God as you. Let yourself sink into the deep presence of your spiritual womb. This is not accessed by thinking, but by intuition, a gut feeling, which is knowing something without conscious reasoning. Rest in your spiritual womb by simply being. The intuition of God as us rises from deep within our spiritual womb. Be aware of any impressions or sensations that emerge from the center of deep spiritual being, your center of intuition and creativity. Jesus said that from here flow rivers of living water, the awakened consciousness of our divine identity. The spiritual knowing of the gut deepens into a unified field as we experience not only our own divine essence, but that this identity is the one source, the one divine essence of everyone. And now, move up into your headspace, noticing that your mind may be a little more quiet and calm as you carry that grounding energy of your feet, gut, and the radiant love of your heart with you into your headspace. Rest in the cleared stillness there. You may sense images, words, and impressions that may emerge from the quiet of your mind. These are not your usual thoughts. They come from your deeper, awakened mind, transmitting words and images of beauty, healing, guidance, and encouragement for both yourself and for others. And if you wish, you can move up beyond your headspace into the formless transcendence that is pure consciousness that emerges beyond your mind. The metaphor of infinite cosmic space describes this. This is the mystical experience of the infinite face of God beyond you. This vast infinite dimension is beyond words or images or forms of any kind. It is pure I amness, pure consciousness, sheer being. And now one last stop in experiencing God as the intimate face of God beside you. Move back down into your heart and God's heart, beating together as one. Become aware of any spiritual presences that may be with you. These are sourced from God and shaped and interpreted by you. This can be the motherly, fatherly presence of God, the living Jesus, other spiritual companions such as Mary, or guides, or other saintly presences who are there to comfort, guide, and encourage you. Feel their love. This is God beside you. You can also let your God heart flow out to loved ones, friends, and others who are also spiritual beings, but have been or are now in the physical realm. As they come to your mind, send the radiant energy of love out to them in connection, in healing, light, and in blessing. Let your heart expand as it holds all sentient beings in the blissful, loving embrace of heartfulness. When you're ready, open your eyes and just rest, ever so gently returning to this present moment. And that, dear ones, is whole body mystical awakening meditation. And there's one more important thing, and if you just take one thing away from today's message, next slide please. Oh, you've got it up there. Good. Your relationship with God is limitless. Your relationship with God is limitless. Let's say my in that place. Let's say it together. My relationship with God is limitless. And it is. And I just encourage you to keep being curious. Keep examining what you believe. We're not the same people we were 5 years ago or even 6 months ago. So what is real and true for us now? What is that? So be curious and see where you are. Some of the things that we say here in talks may or may not resonate with you. And as we say, that's fine. Take any parts that do and let the rest go. Just let it go. It's all right. Most of all, know in your deepest knower that you are loved and beloved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And now it's time for our offertory. So if we would please say together our offertory prayer. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And now Mary Tugas, our board president, will give us a board update.
If you're a clock watcher, I'm sorry, I apologize, we're gonna run a little bit over, but I think you wanna hear what I have to say. That's just me. First, before I talk about the board, I wanna talk about the search committee and how we are doing. This is the packet that we have to fill out before we can send it in and get our application to Worldwide. And then they will tweak it, okay? And then we'll see it out there. I am hopeful by the end of November, we'll be out there, okay? The next thing that we had, and what we just accomplished, is we had to have core values. We didn't have any. I searched, there were no core values, so it was important to us to identify these. So I'm going to take them one at a time. The next slide, please. Our first core value is spirit-led. We felt God was first. Centered in God, we let Spirit guide our way. Somebody's singing. He tells us, yes, that's it. So then, our individual action that identifies us to this value is that I have a personal spiritual practice. I listen and follow the guidance of Spirit. I use meditation and affirmative prayer for challenges and celebrations in my life. Then as a community, we teach unity principles. We begin and end all our gatherings with prayer. We put God first in our lives, and we embrace the teachings of Jesus. Next, our value is love. We live in harmony with love, kindness, and compassion as we see the Christ in others. So our individual actions, I accept people as they are. I affirm the best for others. I listen with love and empathy. I'm kind and compassionate and considerate. Then, as a community, we are love in action. Just watch us as we come in the door and hug everybody. Our actions, programs, and opportunities for service are how we express our love. Our next value was we are inclusive. We embrace all people as an expression of God. Individual actions, I respect the personal beliefs of others. I recognize the divine in myself and others by seeing the Christ in them. Community-wise, wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We welcome and embrace differences in others. We expand our consciousness to be inclusive of all. Our next value is we are authentic, true and faithful to one's own personality, spirit, and character. Our individual actions, I know who I am, and I stand in my truth. I am who I am, and allow others to be who they are. I trust the divine wisdom within. Community actions, we set a positive example by our words and actions. We believe our thoughts create our world. And the last one, abundance. Awareness of spiritual prosperity and amply supplying our every need. Our individual actions, I acknowledge that everything I need is within. I joyfully give and receive. I generously share my time, talent, and treasure. Then community, we teach prosperity principles. We know there is an infinite amount of resources for everyone. We acknowledge and are grateful for our practical, everyday applications of our spiritual principles. Those are our values.
Give it up for the board.
That was the search committee. That was the search committee that did this. Okay. Then, they are working so hard and think of everybody all the time. We're very careful. Our next goal is to come up with a vision. We don't have a vision. Where are we headed? And also then I have a question for you. Who knows what our mission statement is? Raise your hand. It's not ours. 5, 6 years ago, we were given that mission by Gary Simmons when we started our mission center. The board decided, and we all think you probably will agree, it's time for us to come up with our own mission. So, we are going to have a workshop on October 20th. After the service, go have your cup of coffee and snack and come back in here. And we will write our own mission and our own vision so we can get behind it. In favor? Good. Then, now the board update. The board has not just been sitting on their butts. Well, I think Renee has, but it's been in front of the computer. We had to, this time of year, we update our policies. Now, if you were like me prior to being on the board, I would go, what policies? Well, I didn't know them. There is a notebook that's in the closet, right out, you go out the door and there's a little closet right outside, that our policies are in. Well, how can we have policies if we don't know what they are? How can we follow them? So the board is going through all of those, making sure they are mission-centric, that they represent, and we're covering everything. So those policies are, and I'm just going to quickly read them. First is privacy. Privacy covers how congregants' private information is used and stored, so it's not out there in the public. Safety. Safety covers fire, emergencies, bomb threats, hurricanes, tornadoes, and disruptive behavior. Sexual conduct, abuse, harassment, and exploitation by ministry leadership. Social media covers pictures and information that's posted on various platforms. I'm not sure if you're aware that we have a camera back here that for online was showing the audience, was showing the congregation, and we have turned that off. For your privacy, you are not on our service. Okay? Social activities, which we all love, has the this policy then covers the framework for coordinating and scheduling social activities. The guest speaker. We establish guidelines for inviting, hosting, and compensating guest speakers. Want to make sure there's nothing political going on up here. Community outreach program. We are guidelines for providing services, programs, events to community outside of Unity Spiritual Center. The bulletin boards. There's a policy for the bulletin boards. It identifies information that can be displayed on our bulletin boards. We're very careful of what we publicize here. Then we have a key policy. We want to make sure that we're safeguarding our church. So we have who has the key, who is able to have the key, who has the combination to the key box. We keep track of that and change it when necessary. Then, so that we're all safe, Steph, we have a stove and oven policy. So that ensures the safe use of the oven and the stove. So we're covering, if there's another policy you want us to write, feel free to write it yourself and submit it to us. I think Renee's been busy. So anyway, we are in the process of finalizing these, and we will have them by the next meeting, which is next Wednesday, 1 week from Wednesday. So then you can find the policy book in the hallway in the closet. Thank you very much. Transparency. That's what we want here. We're all one.
Everybody please stand and get ready for.
Donna, you want to come on up and let's just hold hands. We are one. And we'll do our peace and song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all harmony. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. I am the light of God that surrounds us. I am the love of God that enfolds us. I am the power of God that protects us. I am the presence of God that watches over us. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Please keep your minds open and your hearts full.